You are listening to the On Purpose Podcast. What's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's show. It's an honor to have you here with us. I'm excited to share stories with you, man, and to continue to show up each and every week and maybe challenge how you're thinking, maybe remind you of some stuff you said you wanted to do in the past, whether it was how we're going to change how we talk to ourselves, whether it was going to change how we put up some boundaries to make sure the right people in our circle of five, or whether it was going to be something simple like remembering and giving ourselves permission to dream as we live our lives, not getting buried by the routine that comes at us, but by being inspired and living the dream. And I wanted to start this week off by showing you, if you're watching, check out this little coffee mug I got from my friends Don and Mella, or Mella and Don as they're liking to go by now, from Rehabilitate, which we did an episode with, episode 196 back in the day. Andrea and I met them while we were out traveling. And what I love about them is they're some of the most artistic and creative people I've ever met. And they're not afraid to challenge the status quo. They're not afraid to let success create fear that they could do something different, right? They've been successful in certain areas, but they still continue to expand and dream. And that's why I love to drink my coffee right out of their mug. It was a gift, and I want to just tell you guys that they have launched a merchandising site for some cool clothing, coffee mugs, just like this, that are inspired by their love of mesmerizing sunsets, their great big show in the sky, realist and dreamers collections available on their website, Rehabilitate, that's REHABIT 8, the number 8.com. So give them a little love. Check out their stuff. Give them some likes. See if there's something you're interested in. And just, as a community, I think it's important that we continue to support those within our community that are dreaming and expanding and continuing to grow. And I thank you for all of your support to us. For over 5 years now, we've been doing this. And I like to just share our platform and our community to the people that mean the most to me. So check out rehabilitate.com if you get a chance. All right, this week this week's a powerful interview that I was blessed to do with a young man that came across our radar as somebody that's been dealt, a tough hand in life and had many opportunities to maybe quit, give up, beat one thing and another thing comes up, but he doesn't. He's a fighter. I don't even want to say the term survivor because I don't believe that. He's a fighter, a winner, a dreamer. He's an inspiring individual known for his remarkable journey as a 3-time cancer survivor, battling hip cancer, lung cancer, and pancreatic cancer, while only given a 5% chance of living. He's been cancer-free for some time now. His story is one of resilience, determination, and what I love is he's stepping into his story to share it, to maybe inspire somebody else around the world that needs just a little bit of laughter, a little bit of grit, a little bit of a reminder that there's a fighter within all of us. So I hope you enjoy this week's interview with our newest friend, Trent Brock. Trent, my friend, welcome to the On Purpose Podcast. How are you today?
I'm great, man. Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Of course we'd have you, my friend. Thank you for doing what you're doing and sharing your story to brighten the days of people around the world, man. That's what we're here for.
You got it. That's exactly what it's about.
All right. Nobody can learn from stories if they're not told. So I want to thank you for having the courage to put yours out there and understanding, like, man, maybe our story reaches somebody today, right?
That's the whole point, right? Yep. That's it.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate before we get into the heavier part of the conversation and the lifting, you did a little boxing back in the day, I believe.
Man, I used to train a little bit.
Yeah.
Love MMA,
Okay.
love the UFC, love MMA. And, used to train and did some private training, boxing and kickboxing and stuff like that. And, work kind of got in the way a little bit. And then my whole health journey started, which has definitely, switched my long-term dream of being a UFC fighter.
There you go. Well, I like it. I like that you got a little fight in you because you definitely have been putting it to use in a bigger arena than just a cage or a ring. But before we get to that, Trent, before we get to, I got to warm you up, dude. We don't just jump in and start going right to hard sparring rounds. We got to get loose.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, you roll with it,
You
man. What you
ready?
got?
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Oh, what kind of tea are you drinking?
I just drink regular tea. Coffee gives me the jitters, so I have to. Yeah, I can't do it really. Yeah,
You're a high energy guy
I
anyhow.
already have enough caffeine surging through my veins, man. I don't need that stuff. I wake up in the morning, I'm just so excited to freaking be alive.
Yeah, you are caffeine, my friend, right?
You got it. You got it. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah,
I
I love it.
love it. All right, favorite combined meal, brunch or dinner?
Oh, brunch.
All right.
Yeah, definitely. Love my breakfast stuff.
What are you
No
getting?
doubt.
If you go out to brunch, what are you getting, no matter what time of day it is?
Oh, I'm getting some eggs and bacon and little, at least one biscuit and gravy. Sure, man. Oh yeah, just one,
Just
at
one?
least one.
All
Yeah,
right.
it's not the best thing for you, but I mean, dude, you gotta have at least a
Yeah,
biscuit and gravy,
yeah, we
right?
gotta live, right?
I don't want to feel too heavy with two or three, I'm not a big guy, so you know.
All right, sunrises or sunsets?
Ooh, sunset, man, all the way. Yeah.
Wh- Why?
I just, at the end of the day, when it kind of is the end of the day and the sun's going down and you've had a nice day and you get to see a beautiful sunset, because that, when I go to bed at night, I usually think about how was my day? What happened
Mm,
today? And I like to see that sunset thinking, man, this is beautiful. And I've had a pretty good day today.
I love it. Good appreciation. All right, do you read physical books or listen to audiobooks?
Audio, audio. Used to read way too much for work, so pleasure reading is not.
No.
But hey, audiobooks, listening to books and
Yeah.
podcasts and things. Love doing that. Yeah.
You got a favorite right now?
Not really at the moment. Not really at the moment. I jump around a lot of stuff. I've been listening to quite a bit of cryptocurrency stuff lately with
Okay.
things in the news, kind of catching up with that. It's a very interesting thing. I worked in IT for 10 years,
Okay.
about 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So I kind of have a little bit of a love for that, but not a love enough to be in the game anymore. Yeah.
Right. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, that's for the young guys, man.
Yeah. All right. You got to get your mind right. There's something weighing you down, maybe a problem you need to tackle. You need clarity in here. You go into silence or do you put on some music?
You know what, man? I go off in my cave. I go
Okay.
in my man cave and think about it. The gym is a great place for me to go to solve my problems. Go to the gym, put my headphones in, get on the bike, do, 30 minutes an hour on the bike, lift some weights. And it is just very odd that I can't explain how a solution to something that you've been
Mm,
banging your head
yeah.
against, or you can't quite decide. You're in that state of indecision, and you can't decide. Just drop it, and I head out. I go to the gym. I do something right like that.
Yeah. So when you put your headphones in, are they just the silence things or are they playing music?
No, I usually play something. Yeah, I usually play. Usually, it could be depending on the mood, could be some kind of upbeat Christian kind of music.
Okay.
Um, or man, it could be some sort of a self-help podcast kind of
Mm.
thing. If I'm sitting on the bike riding, that's kind of boring. So I'm chilling. But if I'm lifting, I need a little something to pep me up a little. I don't necessarily want to listen to some guy sitting there talking. So
Yeah. All right. So I won't be
just depends.
I
Just
won't be
depends.
joining you on the heavy lifts then. Maybe I'll see you on the walks.
Oh, okay, okay.
You can't be listening to that. I love it, Trent. Dude, thank you so much for coming on. I want us to kick off. Are you warmed up, I guess? Let me double check. You need more warm
Yeah,
up?
I'm
You
ready to
good?
rock. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
ready to roll.
Dude,
Yeah, all good.
you're human caffeine. You came in ready to go.
Pretty much, man. Pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to think I had an issue. I used to think something was wrong with me because Just for example, I go to a party or something with my friends, or we go away for the weekend. I am the last one up, shutting it down, and I am the first one up in the morning, getting it going.
Yeah.
And I used to think, what's wrong? All these other people, they sleep too much. What's wrong? I just think I just have energy, man. I mean, God bless me with having a lot of energy. I do need my sleep. 5, 6 hours is about all I really, really need.
Yeah.
And then I'm ready to roll, man.
I love it.
And if you like that, you add that up over time, you get a lot more done because you're awake longer.
Yeah. No, for sure. Your days are much longer and more productive.
There you go.
I love it.
Yeah. And owning my own business years ago, man, I worked
Right.
a lot, a lot. And so, having a long day, having a lot of time like that was beneficial when you own a small business and you wear
Hmm.
basically all the hats. Just what
Yeah.
happens, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, for sure. Well, I appreciate you bringing the energy. It's always good to feel it through the computer, my friend. Conversation loves it.
Yeah. It's been amazing. You can even do that. I mean, you're in Wyoming right now,
Yeah.
and I'm in Arkansas, and it's just amazing what technology has done for us.
Yeah. I love it.
Pretty
Before,
awesome.
yeah, and you're definitely, as we get into your story, technology plays a big role in where you're at today. But before we get there, take us back to the beginning, because one of the things that really caught my attention is your attitude and your positivity in this fight against cancer that's not just happened once in your life, but 3 times. So
Right. Yeah.
take us back, man. You're a young dude to be fighting this, and you're doing it with grace and a toughness, right? Which I think is so amazing. But take us back to the first time you found out. Like, how old were you? And talk us through the emotions of being like, wait a second, now I'm about to fight this, which is one of the biggest fights of your life.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, just a little context to the story. I was a traveling IT guy, and I used to do big projects all over the world. So I ended up in New Zealand on a project. Had a met some American guys in the boxing gym down there getting ready for some fights. And one of them had a kettle corn popcorn business that he did out of his home state in Washington. We started up a business. We ran the business. Okay, 14 years we did that thing. Became a manufacturer, supplied the supermarkets, all that stuff. Okay, so that's kind of the setting. I'm working at the factory. We've got my popcorn factory is about size of a football field on the inside, huge thing. I had been limping around the factory for a couple of weeks.
Hmm.
Went to several doctors. They kept saying you got a torn butt muscle. And I'm just like, it's not getting any better. And all they give me is, ibuprofen or paracetamol or whatever. Man, it just kept getting worse. I had to go into the hospital to get some blood work done, totally unrelated to this. And the hematologist said, something's wrong. We're going to get an x-ray. And I'm like, whatever. Okay. Get an x-ray. You know, back to work, just doing my thing. I'm in my truck going to lunch, and she calls me. And she said, Trent, I have the results of the x-ray. Okay. Um, you have aggressive hip bone cancer, and you have about a quarter inch of bone holding your leg on to your pelvis. We cannot believe you haven't broken your leg already. If you break your leg, it will have to come off. Get to the emergency room right now.
Oh, man. How old
That's
were
how it
you?
started. I was, let's see, I was 43 at the time.
So young, right?
42, 43, right around then. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Golly. Well, I'm glad they took the x ray and caught it.
I mean, the first appointment I had with the orthopedic was, you're lucky we caught this because if not, in 6 months, this would have eaten you alive. You'd be dead.
Huh.
Oh, I mean, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you,
Crazy, man.
so you go to the ER. Take us back to that story. You go to the ER, and do you start battling it in New Zealand, or you come back to the States?
Well, I battled it for a couple of years in New Zealand.
Okay.
So it's public health care there. And, with the public situation, with all government things, right? They're free, but they run a bit slow and the service is kind of average. Well, this is no different.
Okay.
So they check me in. I'm there for the weekend. They want me to stay and run all these tests. And I just said, look, I'm not going to lay here in the bed. I'm leaving. So you guys can call me. I got a business to run. You can call me. And so this kind of happened where I would check in and work and come back 3 times over 6 months. They were like, we're going to put an implant in and cut the cancer out, put an implant in. On your merry way. Okay, sounds simple. Well, every couple of months, it'd take a couple months to make the implant and we're ready to do the surgery. Well, the cancer had progressed, so the implant
Ah,
wouldn't fit. Let's start over. So I had to
yeah.
start over.
Ah,
Third time, okay, you're like, look, it's progressed too far. We're going to cut your leg off. I mean, I lost it, right? I lost it. They sent a guy in that was an amputee from a work accident. He came in, super nice guy as a volunteer, talked to me. We talked through everything. And I'm just like, I can't do this.
yeah.
Like, so my parents got involved. My dad, my folks were on the phone, as my support person with one of the final appointments. My dad just said, look, you're not doing that. We're not doing that. You're not cutting his leg off. My son's a fighter. He's not a quitter. He will make this leg work. We don't care what you say. He will figure this out. Just leave the leg. Cut it off later. Cut it off later if you have to.
Yeah.
Leave it for now.
Yeah.
Like, well, okay, I'm not going to guarantee anything. It's going to be shorter than the other because the bone is going to be gone. He won't have any stability. It'll be shorter than the other. I can't guarantee functionality or feeling or anything. I suggest we cut it off. His quality of life will be better. But if you want me to leave it, fine, we'll leave it. It'll just be a stump,
Yeah.
right? Cut it off, and that so they get the cancer, but it gets an infection, right? Chronic infection.
Ah,
Yeah, can't get rid of it. 6 or 7 more surgeries, IV drugs, everything. Can't get rid of it. 4 months in the hospital. Finally done with that. Get out. Okay, I think everything's over. Mom and dad go home. I'm back in the factory working, because I've been working from my meal, my food tray, right, and on the phone. Whatever you got to do, right? Whatever you
right.
got to do. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm the owner. It's
Yeah.
shut the doors, or right?
Right.
And I'd work. It's my baby, So, next scan, pancreatic and lung cancer. I'm like, what?
How
What?
did
What?
While you're still in New Zealand?
Yep, still in New Zealand.
How did it progress? Did it just come from your body already or what?
You know, I have a very rare kind of cancer that there's two. They kind of divide them into two parts, two types. One that attacks tissue and bone, one that attacks organs. This one has the characteristics of both, so there's nowhere to hide.
Mm,
Okay, they don't know where it started. They're not even sure. They can only surmise, and they're just like, look, we can't do anything about this. If you get it again, we catch it, we deal with it. So they're like, okay. So this was my, next scan. Okay, well, the pancreatic thing, less than a 5% chance.
that's what they
Okay,
told
to
you.
survive. Yeah, that's the kind of the standard
Right.
in healthcare with that. So that's obviously the more serious thing. Okay, COVID hits during the diagnosis and the surgery, lock us down. No one can enter the country, leave. It's terrible. Can't leave the house. I go to I do the surgery, all fine. No family, no nothing, whatever. Surgery went well. Well, then, when we debrief about everything, how did it go? They're like, oh, well, congratulations, you don't have cancer. What? I'm like, well, what happened? It was a misdiagnosis. It was an accident. They cut out half my pancreas and spleen, right? And
Ah,
it was a blood clot. A blood clot. It's public health care. Can't do
yeah.
nothing about it. Who cares? Move
Right.
on.
Ah,
All right. Well, at least I'm alive. I beat
yeah.
this.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
beat this, so to speak, right? So, at least I'm here and I still have half my pancreas. You know.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take the positive. Let's take the positive.
Right.
So then the lung thing, right? So then it's the lung cancer, cut that out. That gets infected. Okay. So I've got an infected hip and an infected lung. in the hospital for months, and get out. Next scan. No, this time you really do have pancreas cancer for real. You can't be kidding me. You
Dude,
can't be
what an
kidding me.
emotional roller coaster, huh?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Right? And I'm like, well, last time you wouldn't let us get a biopsy. So, I'm demanding a biopsy this time because if we cut out my pancreas, that makes me a diabetic.
Yeah.
We don't want to do that. So let's verify it. Well, did all that, took several months to get that done. And I'll tell you, man, when they found it, it was the size of two little nickels on the scan. Okay. In 4 months, it had grown to the size of a tennis ball,
Ugh.
right? And I get the scan results and it's growing into my stomach. And I'm like, I'm going to go to a private guy and get a consultation because this
Yeah.
public thing is just dragging on. I'm going to die. I'm going to die waiting around. Go to this private guy, and he said, look, there's nothing we can do. There's nothing anybody's going to do. It's growing into your stomach. It's too risky. We're done. And I'm like, no, no, nothing. Like, go home. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like,
Nah.
with treatment, it's a 5% chance. With no treatment, I'm definitely going to die. You're telling me to go home and wait to die?
Yeah.
And he's like, there's nothing I can do for you. Wow. Go to a private oncologist, go to a couple of the guys. They give me a year to live. So I'm like, well, I'll pack up, figure out I can get insurance in the States and come home.
Yeah.
And, one of the time, one, I had a big turning point when I'm on the folks one day after one of the appointments. And, I had sat around after getting this diagnosis for a couple weeks and, kind of just circling the drain, man, just
Yeah.
waiting. And, what, I can't go anywhere, like, make your list of what you're going to do in the last year. Well, I can't travel anywhere because the whole world's locked down.
Yeah.
I can't do anything. I can leave and come home.
Yeah.
That's kind of all I could do. So, I was on the phone with my folks, and one day, man, my folks are solid. They are awesome people. They have been supportive. If I didn't have them, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
Well, I could tell they started losing hope.
Mm.
They started giving up, and I just thought, you know what? I owe it to them to fight this thing. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter about chances because a chance is a chance, and that's all you need is a chance, right? And basically, I'm thinking I got 5 chances if it's 5%, and there's only one life. 1 out of 5, I can do that,
Yeah.
Yeah. So I came home and figured out we could get insurance because that was kind of the big hang up. I wasn't going to come home, bankrupt my family, and die because I was probably going to die anyways.
Right.
So we figured that out, and I came home, and my folks live in Northwest Arkansas, and I thought, let's just start right here. Let's start at home, and went to the local clinic. Man, I knew that they had good health care here. It's in Bentonville, Arkansas. There's a lot of money that's been pumped into this place, healthcare wise. And I went in, man, and this guy was awesome. He gave me some hope. He's like, this is serious. If we don't get this, you're gonna die. But I think we can get this tumor.
Nice.
And I'm like, finally, somebody to give me a little bit of hope here. So we did some radiation, man, and by that time it was the size of a softball
Ugh.
growing into my stomach. I couldn't eat. I was on smoothies. I was losing weight. I was white as a ghost. I looked dead. I was walking dead, man.
Yeah.
But we zapped the thing, zapped it, and got it.
Mm.
Okay.
Awesome.
And yeah, had to wait a couple months, and then so the cancer thing, we're done, right? I kind of got that, but I still had this leg problem.
Yeah.
Been dragging this leg around, infected, hurting, couldn't do anything for years, man. It shriveled up like a little toothpick, man. I was on crutches.
Yeah.
I'm on crutches the whole time.
Hey, Trent, let me take you back real quick. I want to visit something you said that I loved, right? And you said that your dad, back when you're still in New Zealand, called and said, no, my boy's a fighter, right? Like, we're going to fight this. You're not taking his leg. He's going to fight this.
Yep.
Okay, so tell me, because in my head, I'm like, okay, there has to be a story of young Trent somewhere where he did something. His dad's like, that's my boy. Like, I know he's got some fight in there. Do you remember being a kid and just feeling like, wait a second, I do have some toughness in here?
You know what? I wouldn't say necessarily a particular instance, but I was kind of always known, I played football, basketball, and baseball as a kid,
Yeah.
right? And everything, right? Just keep the kids busy, keep them, every season you got an event, right? You got a sport. And I just remember, ever since I was really small, like I was the hustler. I had all heart. I never quit. I never gave up. I played to the last minute. I don't care if we were winning or losing. I was going to give my best. And I just remember, that I was always the one that had the most heart on the team. That people, my folks would say it. People would say it. Dude, I just don't like to lose.
Yeah.
I hate losing. I love competition.
Yeah.
I love competition. I can lose, respectfully, and as a gentleman, but man, I hate losing anything.
Yeah.
And I think that probably that
Hmm.
over time, built up that kind of toughness and that resiliency. And that's exactly what happened when I was on the phone with my folks that day.
Yeah.
And it clicked. It clicked. It took 2 years for me in New Zealand with all this stuff. And I'm on the phone with my folks and I'm like, you know what? That day I was on the phone, I was like, you know what? I am a fighter, man.
Hmm.
I'm not a quitter. Am I going to quit on this? This is the most important thing in the whole world.
Yeah.
And am I going to give up on my life? I'm not giving up. I don't care what anybody says. I'm going to be fighting
Yeah.
until my last breath.
Uh,
And that's what I want on my tombstone. That's what I want. If that's what it's going to be, I'm going out like that with my
yeah.
dignity, okay? And my dignity and my pride. And they're going to say, this dude, he fought it all the way, man. And
Yeah.
and that I thought, well, let's go out, as on top as we can,
Yeah.
you know.
No, I love it, right? Because you had a chance. You had a 5% chance, which is better than zero.
That's exactly right, man. And that's where my mindset had to change, right? And I'm
Yeah.
like, you know what? I started getting on the internet and I'm looking around and what I do is I got to find somebody that's been in my situation that's beat this, right?
Mm.
I found this old fella, that was like 65 or something, and he had almost the same thing I had, and they zapped it and he got it and he lived on it. And I thought, man, if that old guy can do it, and I've changed my diet and my exercise and my mindset, and I'm working on my spiritual relationship and all that, it's like I'm doing all these things. I got a good chance. And so that's kind of how it is, man. It took me a long time though to build my mind muscle,
Mm.
kind of as I call it.
Yeah.
Definitely, that was hard,
Yeah.
very hard.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, Trent, like the best stuff in our life's going to be hard, right? The stuff that really forces us to grow is going to be hard.
Absolutely.
We
It ain't
ha-
worth it, really. When it's given to you, you don't appreciate it.
no, dude.
When
What?
you got to work for it, man,
Yeah.
it's worth something to you, right?
And I love that example you just gave that you knew you had to make changes. So instead of spending time researching all the negative stuff, you were like, no, somebody has to have beaten us, and let me find this guy.
Yeah.
Let me learn from him. And I think that's such a powerful message to our community, whether you're fighting cancer or not. But like, if you have these doubts, if you're not sure of your journey and your path, find somebody else that has done something similar.
Yeah.
And
That's
just
right.
like Trent said, if they can do it, then that means there's a chance that you can do it.
That's right. It's that simple. It's that
Hmm.
simple, right? It's hard to get there. It can be very hard to take those little steps to get there. I'm not saying that
Yeah.
it's easy, but it's not this like secret black magic formula of some sort. It's very simple. I think most of these things are not that difficult. It just takes, you have to stay consistent. You got to stay focused. I mean, this world is nothing but a big distraction, man.
Mm. What do you think about this though, Trent? What about if you'd have told if your mind would have said, "Man, I'm dying. Like, let me just plan for this. Let me plan for it," instead of saying I'm fighting, right?
It did.
Because a
It
lot,
did.
yeah. How did you balance that out? Because that's natural, right? To be like, man, what the, right? Like, damn. How did you balance that, and how did you bring yourself back to the fighter side when maybe like that other voice was getting strong?
Sat around the house for a couple of weeks, and I had some. They didn't release me with some medication that I needed. I didn't realize it until it was kind of too late, and I started on withdrawal. So I had a big mess with them about you're not a patient in the hospital. We released you. We can't give you these drugs. The GP, can write a script and just so I had major mental health issues with it during that time, like anxiety, hot and cold sweats, all the things like I was a crackhead, right? Because I
Yeah.
was on withdrawal from this kind of opiate thing.
Yep.
And I it was making me suicidal. I was hanging around the house, and I started circling the drain. And I'm just like, I'm hanging around the house and I'm literally counting the days down on a year that I'm gonna die. I'm like,
Mm.
well, I got, 360 days and I got 359. And I'm telling you what, man, sitting around the house because my team is like, well, started treating me precious, man. We feel sorry for you. You don't need to come to work, stay at home and do whatever. And I thought, well, this is cool, but I'll tell you what, I lost my purpose.
Yeah.
I lost me. And all I did was sit around the house. No one's around. Everybody's at work.
Yeah.
I'm bored. And it's not a good thing. So I did that for 2 or 3 weeks, man. And I started going crazy. And I thought, this is worse. This is worse waiting around to die than probably actually just dying.
Mm.
So you know what? I can't do this. I cannot do this. I'm not going to sit here. I am going to do the best I can with what I've got left. I'm going to make my company the best I can. It's going to outlive everything and everyone that I know.
Yeah.
And we'll set this thing up to be the best popcorn company forever, and I'm going to do what I can do. And, I'm going to try to figure out an exit plan of some sort. I had to get home and spend some time with my family before I die,
Yeah.
and that's what happened. I mean, just the absolute, the despair, the hopelessness, the helplessness, just the depression and the looking forward of nothing but death pushed me to say, you know what? I'm gonna die trying.
Yeah.
I'll literally just die trying. It's better than giving up.
Mm. Yeah,
That's
no,
it.
that's so strong. But here's the craziest thing though, Trent. Like we're all gonna die, and we know that, right? Like that's the one guarantee that we all have is at the end of this journey, it's gonna end at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
because
taxes.
well, we could get into that too, right?
Something silly.
Yeah, yeah, we can get into that. But
Uh,
what I'm saying is like we all know it ends at some point, but we don't all
yeah.
live with that sense of urgency, right? And I mean, I guess I have not been through cancer, thank goodness, but listening to
Right.
you, it just sounds like your mindset and stuff going into this was like, wait a second, like this gives me urgency to live today.
You know what? I think this is a bad trait of human beings.
Mm.
We take things for granted.
Yeah.
We do. I even do. I still do. I still catch myself, right? Taking things for granted, expect things, the normal becomes expected,
Yeah.
right? And I mean, man, we live wonderful lives compared to 50 years ago or 100 years ago, And I still find myself doing that. But I think I've really found what I'm supposed to do with my life, right? This is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Mm.
Out here sharing my story, saying, hey, you know what? Everybody's got crap in life, man. It's terrible. Terrible things happen. It's just the way the world goes, man. Just one of the laws of the universe.
Yeah.
But man, golly, I got an opportunity to just share and say, hey, you know what? It's not as bad as you think. Look at how bad this guy is, because there's a whole lot more to this story,
Yeah.
man. I mean, about how beat down and how bad it got. And, if you just say, look, we all have a bad time, but, look at what Trent did, man. This guy pulled
Yeah.
himself out of nowhere, out of nothing,
Yeah.
I mean, I had 5 or 6 surgeons, man. All the surgeons in New Zealand, my orthopedic, my lung doctor, every one of them. You had a good run. You're done for. It's
Yeah.
over. Go be with your family. Enjoy that last year. Make it count,
Yeah. But see, here's what I think though, man. Like your energy, right? Your fight, your willingness to say no, there's more is what attracted you to other people that also believe in you, right? That led you to the doctors like, no, give me a shot at this. I think we can get it, which also then leads you to a place like the Mayo Clinic, right? Where it's also believers in what's possible, not the other side where we're just riding out this time. So talk to us now because you're on the process of a groundbreaking procedure at the Mayo
Yeah,
Clinic, right? So
yeah,
share that story with us.
yeah, sure. So, I had this chronic infection, and I worked with some doctors here in Arkansas, and we tried some antibiotics and some things. I did this 3-month course of antibiotics, IV in my arm, 2 hours every day, made me sick like I was on chemo. It was horrible.
Oh,
I did a 3-month course. Most people can only do up to two, but we wanted to get this thing. We nailed it, which enabled me to have a possibility of getting a hip surgery. And because I've been told in New Zealand, you'll never walk again. This is how it's going to be. Then after the crutches, you'll eventually be in a wheelchair, and then you'll be in the bed, and then you'll die. I'm
yeah.
like, okay, great. Well, these guys just don't know. It's not going to happen. So I was, all over the country trying doctors. Everybody's like, we can't do anything. You've had the infection, we won't do anything, or we don't have anything to bolt anything to. And you know what? I'm just going to show a photo or two, if you don't mind. This is
Yeah.
an X-ray. So this is what my hip looked like. So this is where the leg bone would have been. You know what? Let me show you this one real quick. So
Yeah.
this is nothing's there
Oh,
at all.
gotcha. Yeah, yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
Nothing's there. This one, okay, is where they took this little wire out because they thought it was causing the infection and it didn't. So you got this going on. So the leg bone went all the way up to here. And this is the shoe, dude, that I had to wear. 4 1/4 inches on crutches for my foot to touch the ground.
Dude, how heavy is that
Yes.
thing?
Dude, it's like 4 or 5 pounds. I'll tell you what. I'm the dude that invented the platform croc, man.
Oh, bro.
I don't need money anymore. I'm rich. That's why I do all this for free.
Dude.
I know. Yeah,
Dude,
so
hold on. Show me that shoe again. Let me see that thing again.
dude, yeah. I mean, honestly, this is crazy. Look, this is compared.
Oh, Trent.
I know, dude, man. People used to stare at me all the time.
I can only
And
imagine.
you know what? Americans, man, the culture is look but don't say.
Yeah.
Right? So you catch everybody. I mean, from the little kid all the way up to grandma and grandpa. They try not to look, but then they look down. And you catch them in that awkward moment every time, right? Every scene. It's just, I hate it.
Dude, I have to let me interrupt your story. We'll go back to Mayo. You're a funny guy and you have awesome energy. So what would you tell people if they asked you?
Oh, I mean, like it depended on the situation. Like like let's say, man, if I was in Florida, I'd be like shark attack. If I was in Louisiana with my buddies, it'd be
Gator.
like gator
Oh,
got me.
yeah. Good. I love it.
I do silly stuff like that to kind of break the ice,
Yeah.
but eventually, the story comes out, and then everybody's like, "Oh man, I'm so sorry." I'm like, "Sorry? There ain't nothing to be sorry about. I'm still here."
Yeah.
The thing is, you guys get to see
Yeah.
most of my imperfections, but yours, they're hidden on the inside.
For sure.
It can be way worse,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. No,
You
you're
know,
right.
so yeah.
Well, I'm glad you kept that shoe, man. That's a great prompt for your discussions.
Unbelievable, huh? Imagine putting that at one of my staff's rear end to get them moving,
They were scared of that one, huh?
Oh yeah. Well, I couldn't kick anything, so they knew they were pretty safe. I mean, dude, I mean, I'm on crutches, right? I mean, if you don't want to talk to me, you just kind of walk away briskly.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious. All right, so take us to Mayo. What are we working on here, brother?
Yeah. So I get this referral from my Arkansas network of doctors, which is crazy, right? That this guy connected me with this guy because I had no one and I'd already been to Mayo and they told me no. So this guy does hips and knees that no one in the world will try. This is his jam. Okay. He we've put in in about 8 or 9 months ago, we put in the largest, most complex hip implant ever done in the world with procedures that have never been attempted,
Mm.
like guinea pig kind of stuff. So this is my pelvis, right? This is my spine. This is the side. This is my actual thing. They made this $1 million piece, right? I never get this thing right. It fits in here. It fits in here, okay? Like this.
Oh wow.
So you got this little piece, and you can tell just kind of, oddly that that's where the socket goes,
Yeah.
right? And just to give you an idea, man, I mean, this is a good comparison, right? So this is what a normal hip implant would look like.
Yeah.
There's a little piece right there. This is what I got.
Oh
All
wow.
this, screws going across, rods in my spine, blah, 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 all that. And man, I'm on one crutch now.
Oh
And
nice, dude.
I'll be in a cane soon and be walking after that, right?
How long's it been since you got that in?
Well, nothing's easy, right? So they put it in July. Last July they put
Okay.
it in. And I got an infection again.
Yeah.
So I went through all that. They had to rip the thing out, put it all back in October. So we had to start all over, had to do antibiotics. It was a terrible, terrible thing.
Sure.
And yeah, so really I'd say officially, October-ish. And so, I'm not too far, I'm not too far. I think I'm doing pretty good. I think by October, which will be a year, I'll be walking around. I'm not going to run a marathon,
Yeah.
right? But man, I'll get what I want, which is I'll be able to carry my dinner to the table. I'll be able to carry
Mm.
groceries inside and be able to, do something, like that. Because when you're on crutches, man, I mean, and I've gotten resourceful,
Yeah.
but I want my hands back, man.
Yeah.
I just, yeah, they've been taken away from me, and just the simple thing of walking around. People don't know or appreciate how nice it is just to walk around,
Yeah.
just to walk. What I'd give to do that.
I, what what kind of goals do you have for yourself after this? Once you're all healed up, like what have you set for what's future Trent want to be involved in?
Sure. I mean, after, I've been over here, a little over 3 years. And, I decided, golly, man, this popcorn business, and, I've been running remotely. We got to get rid of it. I'm not going back. I can't go back. I can't do this.
Okay.
So we sold it, and I'm moving into speaking and coaching people on their cancer journey and like patient advocate kind of stuff. I really see a need for people to have some help and learn the skills and the tools to be able to navigate this healthcare system.
Mm.
Speak up for yourself, advocate for yourself, man. There's 17 million misdiagnoses in the US a year. It's crazy.
Right.
17 million. That's the population of Florida. Like you need to be looking out. We're just human beings, man. We make mistakes. Our intentions are right, but things happen.
Yeah.
One happened to me. A misdiagnosis happened to me,
Right.
with a unnecessary surgery that causes me health issues,
Right.
So I'm pretty passionate about that. I'm moving kind of in that direction. I'm gonna do my own thing, and I've co-authored a book, one that's out already. I'm doing another one, and eventually I'll do my own biography, and so I'm kind of doing that. I genuinely just want to help people.
Yeah. What would
I
you
really do.
what would you say is the core message you hope our listeners take away from spending the last almost hour with you, Trent?
Yep. Pretty simple. Grit, don't quit.
Mm.
If you don't quit, you don't fail.
Yeah.
That's it. And if you need a timeout, take a timeout. We all get tired. Take a timeout. Take the afternoon off. Take a break. What I do, with this thing that got so serious, this deal, this life and death or lose a limb conversations many, many times, right? It gets so heavy. And I kind of just thought, let me just take myself out of this. I'm gonna put my life into a football game, right?
Mm.
I can everything, I can just kind of compare everything in my life to a football game. I'm the quarterback. My coaches are my doctors. my teammates are my friends. You don't make yardage on every play, but you make a few plays in a row that's good. You get 10 yards, you get another try, get down the field. The touchdown is be cancer. Touchdown is, got the implant.
Yeah.
So, that's kind of, the way I try to look at things now.
You still got dreams to keep traveling?
You know what? I will, man. I haven't, yeah, absolutely. I haven't been to South America yet, which I've been almost everywhere else. Haven't been there. Love to go to Israel sometime. I want to see the Holy Land.
Sure.
That kind of stuff. But I've been all over the States. I've been all over Asia and, Europe and those kind of things. But man, I love to travel. I love to go to new places. I think there's no substitute for going somewhere and meeting people that are from a different culture, that talk differently, that eat different things and try what they do. And you know what? Maybe they just do something a little better than you do.
Yeah.
And you can add that in, right? You can take a little bit of that flavor. You can take a little bit of that and, mix it in and do it how you want to. But I love traveling. I love meeting people. That's part of the reason I moved to New Zealand,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can only imagine how fun a campfire would be with you, my friend. So I hope our paths cross somewhere out there. We can just sit down and relax together.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
Hey, Trent, where can our audience connect with you at? Where do you like them to follow along on your journey and keep up with all the success you're about to create?
Sure. TrentBrockCoaching.com. I got a little website there, and that's kind of where I'm at.
Trent, it's been an honor to share your story, man. Much love and respect to you, my friend, and thank you for fighting. You keep up the good fight.
Man, appreciate you having me on. Thanks so much. Hope we bless somebody today.
And remember, team, life is far too short to live any other way than on purpose. We will see you all again next week.